Khubor di baro pia pia RiKhasi channel ni bidang subhai phi shaka thu Khubor ka bashi sen Taiew ki mat bakong san mentang Taiew bilo don ki school ki bala play don ki badang kham don pau jin kemen ki ba play kwa bu khardap ka hima sora ban tela ka mi ke jingrung pathar ki nong suwari perthai bindo no ka sarkar ki MOU halor ka ummat hydel project Pau perthai biang ke jingshalam do yong bi an ha ke jela dawa ka sur ki nong west ban pinshitam juriu nong paniabriu mi ki pai ba hanong stone ban dawa play lut ki dukan shlei ong biang ka than nong po ban umling kadai ma jing e ki pai ba flow kan san ke yo bhormbong julon drutli ki dukan de mar rakhi ke dor bashrang wine do yo maumer ban nyukusan snem jong wine do sports club but wait de ki Khubor kashitari gunailur aja arpoi ke de sngi ya ka ba sarkar kala aila de school ban pleno hadin bala kham ko balai nai e namar ke jingling shop ke kham COVID-19
haba RiKhasi channel kala le ban jurib ya bontli ki school hanong ba shillong ki ba bon ki school kim patre play omla ban tip ikadaw balai ba kim patre ban play namar ba bon kim patre ban kran hakmat kilat thai Khubor Kidan ki bapen pau bakim pat sngau shngan dan play ki school namar bi kindon babu da ka sarkar ki khang perking kham tam ke jing IT kai ki nohi kai bar ke jing tasi ki tu ki nohi kai ki bam padap IT ka dan ru ki bapen pau ke jing e ba ka shitam man play school da baro ki khna school kim wan ranti hagani ga jo ka sngi ba play ki school Hindra ki katu gani ki jaka nong kendong kumari boy district ki don ki school ki bla play hagaba ki khenna kila wansha school ka RiKhasi channel kala yor banya kran bekini ki khenna bar kumjuru bar ki bor pnya school bar ki nohi kai halor kane ke jing play biang ki school da ka sarkar
kalian jongi ko mi kena school tai so kuben sikadai ngela koi jeng sa school sai sen ba ngai kumle ko sarkar bakala kristom mo kani bakala yala ni class school ban koi sa school te Tambangin pat dan self hadu kata in hab ni ban ong ban but ta protocol sa sarkar kajing yo nang jangi tingi yo sibon lagi poisa school ban ko online class te ni sobang ban poisa school mental si isokman ya kadu problem ko tam ni nai kai ban yo kuliah dia mangilong manswa te kajing do nang kat kabun ini class school nomor apor bangin long school bindayo tan bolong ban belum mensyab konsentrasi je kuliah de mentada along school pate long alis ngila ini nomor konsentrasi belum mensyab
hawo hilang ni smosi sikande habi pol beladap na kadau jom jinja jom le klam ba ki khna babon ba kiladu sibun bijing bukan namar ba kane ko online class wala takal adon makanaru ni hanam bendong hane ngiron sibun bijing namar ba babon ba ta benekon ng sap simdan ke mobile bala begiron ke mobile makanaru kane ro kane kata kambiang kalau long kijindu ba khau wala da jidon ko online class ne tairo dan dai mta kasni da kijin khaulat jong sarkar ngelayo ban pribiang jene ka school bat ki khna ke lawan school ban ngelayo ban batal ti ha perkom ko ba kambiang tena kalen jungiro misu tenat misu kemen sibun ban ni sengu sibun yak sarkar bakal khaulat ini ba ki lala ban pribiang ka school.
So I'm most privileged to make the students to understand that after this reopening of the school, teachers and students, we were eagerly waiting for this day. And I'm being the principal of the school, I'm very happy that we are able to open with so much of enthusiastic spirit. And during this lockdown time, children are not able to exercise their talents, even in the learning capacity. So during this today, I could see the children are very happy to come back to the school with so much of energy in them. And I could say that children returning to the school is one of the most privileged time or lucky time or blessed one that they are able to resume their studies. And I could see, I went around to the classes after the assembly, I could see their brightness on their faces, and some of them they expressed that sister, we were longing to come back to school to resume our studies, and especially the class 10 and class 12 students. They were eagerly waiting for this day to come back and to learn again what was the loss.
And the message I would like to give to all the students is, when you come to the school, focus first and maintain the SOPs which have been given by the government. And I also would like to thank the government that they have given a chance to come back to the school and to be in the school and learn rather than being in the home and doing the online classes. Online classes is like just 10% we used to get the knowledge, but then when we come to the school, listen to the teachers and get the full knowledge with the practicals. So it's really good to be back in the school.
Kaseng FKGGP Central Body Klapin Pau Kajing Prasha Kabajuri Kasor Kajala Kabla Rai with Belong School No.
Education Secretary ki FKGGP Bakrao ko parnong si uloong bahagi yeng mani ki khenna ki bahapo khat prasnam omsha barsha school pat lasha uloong ru bigidon ki school ki bahadu menta ki dang pelong kum ki quarantine center bat yaki pat onle kumno
nakaliang kejong ni geseng hi isolingo bakumno ye ki khenna ki ba hapo khat prasnam shaki yeng mani kimsha banlet banshim benta ta ji shakri uble Nreipat kila syuarai ke man pelong ke ni ke school klem dai ter ya tai klem dai ter ya tai bha man pelong pa school ngi tip ru ba ki khna ki kini kelas 12 sepo ki dang dai ki khna ki baha apo khat prasnam sepo tenga soban bu ke jingkli sarkar ka wei balai utau kubet udon tang ha po ka yeng mani ha ki school hatu umdan kani kalong yu kadon ke jingma ka bakhrau habang ye kran halor kani ya khamta mi khna school ki khna hi ki bakhat prasnam sepo khampat pendap ban ai ka vaksin nomor 4 don ki dawai na benta ka jongki te kalong ka jingma ka bakhrau ni tip ba ka management jo school lingba ki SOP bi protocol ba permit na kaliang ka notification na kaliang ka sarkar le si ka management kala bande kata bakan don kata social distancing nani bandeng ye ki mas khna andre ka bakham kong san pat bang ide ban phai ide ban pet kadai halor ka let ka wan jong khna phi haskul to kila le se kila bandon kata social distancing nani bandeng ki mas ka ba ma ka jingma ka bakhrawi khna ka long ba kani ka let ka wan namar ki hot ki don ki long yeng ki ba penbiang he kali na yeng haskul na school hayeng to ki yaki ka num don jing andre ka ba don ka jingma pat kadai yaki khna ka ki long yeng ki bam don ya kali la de ki habban song da kali kamai pi sin bangi song na kali kamai te kin ya tingkhu ba no ra ba no ki breu ki ba ya song lang kata kali kala long do direct contact ba kita dese ka yo de u breu bolong asymptomatic ubam peni kita symptoms ma ting ni khna pat jawla song lang khane ura ai khane jingpang pat school monu ban sim ke jiket khli hatu kan sim ka school lane kan sim ka sarkar khane jiket khli munu ban sim ke jingket khli ke sarkar ka pha ban rai pan ha ki kimi pa la kin pha na pha ya ki khun ki jongki ban le school to ki don ki school ki bala yo ban long ki don ki school bam yo ban long habangi I hang ni hapo molai ke jongi ki school ki bun na ki school ki la pelong e quarantine center te ni kanom long fair pat kan ye ki bei ki school ki la panlong ye ki bei pat kanom panlong nomor ni ba mantar ki dang don ki kies ki tu ki quarantine center ki beri ki dang let biang bansa andrai kolong ye ki bei ki school pat kin yo e jing puli ka bei ki school pat kam yo e jing puli ki khna long ka ni so khya na kalyang ka sang ka jongi
Ukonrit ke salma menteri rangba ke jala uloong balada ki nong sora ki dang tieng ya ki tourist bakin wan chiki jaka jongki ka bha bakin khang no shwa khna ban aila ki we pat ki jaka bakin pli
Habayakran bat kilat pathai Khubor hakalai terek unai lur 8000 arpwe u konrat sangma uloong ba ka sarkar kala IT hakinong penya jong ki jaka ne ki local authority kumbalale ya ki school ba ki bakwa ban play kin play bat ki bampat kwa panai play kan long kum juru ya kinong sora Laban kedo hangni ba ka hima sora kalapan na ka DC East Khasi Hills District banbu kherdop ha mau kedok khnang ban yada ya ka jingpang COVID-19 na ki nowan jongokai perthei ki bawan cha sora
We've been very clear with everybody, whether it's tourism or with schools, that the local authority will have a lot of power to decide what they want to do. So if a particular village in Sora area or in Jente Hills or Reboy do not desire that tourists should come in, then they can close their tourism sector. There's no problem in that. Similarly, schools also, if they feel that they don't want to open up, nobody's going to force them. What we are trying to do right now is we're trying to open up in a phase-wise manner and give the flexibility to people who would like to, open up, and at the same time allow people who are not very comfortable with things opening up. We're allowing the flexibility for them not to. So if people from Sora or whichever area, I won't take names, since you mentioned it, I'm just mentioning it, but whichever area it may be, it will entirely depend on them. And if the local area people are not comfortable, then they may close the sector for the time being and see and wait when situation improves or when they feel comfortable about it.
Daka jurai ka sarkar ban pleno ek jaka jawab kai per thai ka hima sora ka badon ye bontli ki jaka jawab kai hakalai putere gunailar aja arpoi kalai kandu ye DC ka East Khasi district ban kintu ye I ban shai ka hima ban bore ka khadda ka than mawdok nang ban telakam lale ban khmi ye kro kami jo ki nawan jawab kai per thai
Habakan bikla patai Khubor hadian kerja kendu bat Deputy Commissioner nak kilang kinang mikmat jok hima sora kelong bagi kwa ban bu ia kan ka khandop khnang ban te lakam ia ka jangwan rong pathar jong kibriu kibon de kai pathai se thai sora
pan ye disi ya kata bor ben ai ngi bani telang berkejemut jongi jong do bar hima hi kalang bala da ka soka ka ai ngi ka bor bani telang bat ka ngin bo kom kenja entrance berhakta kan transmin cek jadi turis barung hapok tain sora namar ka sarkar kabu ba kala ai por gi turis nyu por kanta na dum ling but hale kata ka por jungki na klasang hang ni ang tai na poi sora klagot ban mano ban tip kata ba kilakut ka to por jungki hagi jika gi hab tes ladam don nang cek ladam don nang bodien kinam cek so ladam don kom kata bayo turis kiban berat ban yaw khnyang Jepang apa ka sara yaw ban berat ban khnyang Jepang ban kelalong ban kejing tim jadi khon gajar bari painu song sinu masara nang bakan nemlong komta ba habangi kwa ya kejak po ni kwa ya kamal kaji hanai poi ban sega jenjar sentra wan ha bang kapang istam kejenjar lembau ni kham Jepang yang ikat pari ka sukar haba ka play rengkat lang bat ke bor snong ke bor thau ke bor raj ke bor ma ngintre lang banamla ban syong bangin susian ya ka sukar namar ngiji ka sukar ka sunang tang man pentrikam ni protokol handai kambudien kanu ba buat dia tu na kata ka daw na kalyang ka darbar chongus ya bat mengi bedon lang haga jeng kendo gedis kalong ba ngidai ban ikan do ika sokar lambai disi ba in semru ika bor jong dal bar snong dal baraj dal bar ma kum kawai ni ki bor ki bangila man tel kam ye kan khanyang Jepang khanang ba sisen la play ka tores kanum khangsu handai la da play klem la bodien klem na sim kia klem na perkat kia biyo tang simana din khang biang ka jeng do nong ka jong no ka jongi ki paiba ba jong ka sokar cela ba ka du revenue tena kata kadau hakum kan ka por bakan ni jeng pang kampat ja na state jeng ni kwa ba sokal le kamno kan pediang ni kan ni jeng ai jemut jeng
hak ko pot kala kadawru bakan ni ka jing bu ya kan ka khandop tam bakan te la kam yiki nang jengok kai pathai ki bon sabar jela handai kan te la kam ru ya ka jengwan jengok kai jong ki brio ki banapo ka jela ki ba bonsin ki long ka jing injili ya ka emnang ka salang da ka ba ki bret pathari kinyut kinyer bakam juru ki penjabo ya ka te ka jaka
syur ka wei gejeng terwa bengi bo kalong na ka beleng na kaliang khoi ke subah habagi turis ki hiar hathan sora ki berat ki bilor ki bilor biar ki lak pejat ki plastik ni kita habagi labam tang masuk elade ki berat pathar madan media halanti hasake harus sora ban menu pen khoi to dai ki khon ki hajar ki painu song snong chong athan jum handai klem ganu ching man toi pat kan ganu jeng mutoi ya kita nang pen khoi ban na kaliang jong ka hima klasim kara ber ka bo jeng twa ha ka soka la dalong ka bala min pen kre ye ka wei ken trans sangti ha bangin ai baro kito turis lamba ki driver ki min pen kre atli ki disposal plastic polythene ha ka ba kendon ka wet bat ka dry Hitoris kibaya hasora gniar ka baro agi yang penon kam nyuki kin tap ka to plastik ban nda kila me na ka to thai ne poi heta entran sabangi dan mangi sedap mangi kin ai to protein ngin berat mangi bar hang ta kan don ga jing khoi jing suba habadon jing khoi jing suba hang ta ka don ga jing khoi jing kra bar klem ga jing khoi jing khia long leno ai kaspa ka bangilum long leno ai ka kamai ka bangiya
Kesorkar Jelai government da kala pendam no ya ke jesoi soskular lane ke MOU balaite halor jog umngat hydel project namar ke jing persha na ki babon balang
Yakini la pentip do menteri ketenat boarding James ke sangma hagasngi dingkong menta Taiew. James loang bawa lada ke sorkar ketemu banyat chaprang bat kani ke project kan le ada ke jinga mir jumut bat ki ba.
God is not something which we have initiated or we are suddenly going to give the go ahead to some companies to start the project. There is nothing, and I don't know where this apprehension has come about from. What is the genesis of that apprehension? But as I said, if, and there's a big if, we are to go ahead with the God project, we will definitely be taking all the views and reaching out to stakeholders. We will be discussing this matter with them. There may be some fears which are very genuine and some fears which need to be addressed. That we will tackle it as when the time comes. But right now, when there is nothing that's moving, I don't know why this apprehension is there that God is going to go about. Having said that, I think we are facing a lot of shortage in terms of our generation, and we need to ramp up our generation capacity in the state. So maybe from that holistic or the larger point of view of wanting to bring about more generation for our state, maybe people have misread it as UNGOT. But this is not the only project which is there, available to us. We are presently exploring many other renewable projects in terms of solar, and because we have hydro generation which is taking place, we would like to also supplement that with solar, and it's a very symbiotic relationship that will be there with solar and with generation and with hydro and also wind that we are looking at. So all these things we want to combine and bring about a very robust renewable energy foundation for our energy sector in Meghalaya.
Hello, Jingsha Siat Yap, General Secretary Barim ke HNLC, Uba Charles Safil, thank you. Uba Lakman Rumboy Mentri ki Kampo Ying Jaga Sorkar Jala, Ulo Baga Sorkar Kanum Le, and Rai Kirki, Hello Kanikam, Hindikan Yad Bed Katkunga and Baga Sorkar Kadiban Tregam.
Habakado bagadon kajing dawa kabajon nakaliang jong kipat ba jong kamolai bakatu kati kibenta jong kajala man sospen shua ki pulit kiben ti hakabasiat yap yaunu ngilam barim kaseng HNLC uba remboy ulong managlang sorkar kan pek bakanu kam bakale kadam di kam bakale baklah dei kadina kam kajing bahalang jong baro ba ngi tip bakadi kapor ka ba pimo kadika station ka jala kalong ni ngi baka molai ka insin ka persis baik ba marki tu giro kiwan ra jing thoj kimle bakin kan ya kani kai ka stand fero kani
pi ni don ha demokrasi ka ba kibril kidon ya ka hok ban express tengir naka yang ke sarkar ke bangi yang kelong bangin ay ke service ke ba katpum badai dan rekidon ki rule ki procedure ki bangin te ke bangi di banle ke sarkar kan bishar bin pabin ya kinok ki kam ki ba de banle bat kanung no bangin le kam dai ban long knee jerk reaction han rei ka bangin le kalong khnang ba kan ban ra ya ka jing ka long kamil ka jing hon kamil pa ya ki breu ki ba kta ya ka jing jong nor jong it is the prerogative of the chief minister to entrust any portfolio to his council, any of his council of minister. So the chief minister, I have expressed my design, and the chief minister till date he have not the matter is under examination as the chief minister on the examination of that my letter, so I still continue to look after the department.
Unagilam kaliang persya Dr. Mukul Sangma ulong bakumdo ka sarkar ka ong bakijing tokit halor ka jing syasiat yap uba cherish kan long ka balay loy habaw he apulit ubadan kti hakani ka kam udang don hakashuki.
Yagani ulapan pau habai kram ikilat pathai Khubor hadian belawai ke jingalang jongka Congress Legislature Party menhaka laitari u nailur arhajar arpuwe.
I believe the people have similar demand. In fact, the demand has always revolved around an inquiry which we refer to as independent. I repeat, independent. Okay. Now, in the present circumstance, under the the narrative which has been generated over the last few days, please understand one thing. The very different circumstances involving this particular incident. You are talking about an allegation of fact encounter. Okay, fact encounter by the police. Therefore, the inquiry, if it has to be independent, it has to be really independent. How will you make it independent? How will you ensure that it is independent? Now, if the allegations revolve around the top officials, will you expect the inquiry to be independent? If the top officers against whom the allegations are directed are still in the office, that is how one has to look at. That is how the government has to look at if the inquiry has to be independent. Okay, I am talking inconsistent with the provisions of law and on the expected line as to how the authorities will have to act to ensure if the inquiry has to be independent, completely insulated from any external pressure, because you will have number of police personnel of lower rank who will have to be questioned. Now, will they be really free to speak and share the truth? All those things are required to be understood. Therefore, I would confine my submission before all of you, but I think this sends enough message.
Uba lakmen rumboy menteri ke sarkar jala baderu MLA jeng ke UDP ulat heting ke jingkan tho jong president bathamai jeng ke MPCC uba Vincent H Pala uba lakenno ba ke jingbat jeng ke UDP ke kampoing ke David Thek tang na ke bentaban lum khajana la neban krong pisa na ki surak ba jong ke jala
Bapalah akan ikisni ke beladab ulak kena pakai jengbat joga UDP kata kampo ieng ke David Thek tang na kamtaban lum khajana la deban krong lagi surak ba jong ke jala apa pun phaya ke dikajeng kena jong bapala ba romboy ula ong ba usngulungo ba uba pala tang simti ka kam presiden yang kami kala Paris Congress Committee ula klan kami ni ki kentien ani nak lang jong ula ong ba kasoka kan tai kam be kat kom ki kendon ki balabu.
That is the practice of the Congress. I'm very sorry to hear from the president of MPCC who as soon as he's taking over as the MPCC president, he have such allegation. The UDP is never and we will never politicize any department, anything for the benefit of our party or any individual benefit. The law, the officer should act according to the law. The officer should act within the preamble of the law. So whatever allocation is only the frustration of the Congress that they are out of power, they cannot live without power. This is sheer frustration.
Hande ka juga poru la kanto ya kasang Congress. Uang ba menta kasang Congress kadang dan tangkawai. Hande la sha la hisni. Ini kasang kasami edu alai tali ini ka Congress 1, Congress 2, ini ka Congress 3.
Moreover, as you know that in the Congress there is a rumbling, and you don't know the Congress maybe become from the Congress now 1, it may become 2, 3 in the due course of time.
Kesen Congress kalarai bahkan ikut dorbar senrai kan wanra ada ke resolution balweng kam no ulam phang ke yung dorbar ba met baling do nakashuki bong shong menta.
Dr. Mukul unong yalam ka CLP ula ong ba ka jingwan ra ya ka resolution kan longkat kum ki kendon trekam jong ka yeng dorbar. Tamba shim la ya thopat ki ki daw ba ki kwa banweng no yo speaker.
Move a resolution for the removal of the Honorable Speaker from the office of the Speaker. And this having been shared before you, since this has already been submitted before the Assembly, as per the rules of procedure and conduct of business and inconsistent with the relevant provision of the Constitution of India, that is Article 179 of Constitution of India. The details we will be obviously discussing in the August House as we submit our stand as to why we justify our call for adopting a resolution for asking the Speaker to vacate the office of the Speaker.
Hakabide Bekajing Penbet Port Berkajala Assam, Ukanak Kisama Menteri Rang Bakajala, Ulong Bahapet Langi Kamindor Berkamenta, Namarkidan Kijaka, Kibalakhen Bekidan Hapren Kaja Kaja, Hindre Andala Poipat Hakibakum Kitagijaka, Omdan Katakaja Kaja.
Ulaong ba kendon ki benta ki ba ban ya pen bet nrei la kumno laipo hadu 40% la ban ya pen bet ya kani ka kam habai kren bat kilat pathai khubor hadien ka jingwai ka jingalang jong ka border committee kabala long haga lai tre unailur 1000 ar puwei umentri rangba ulaong ba kadei ka sin ka baning kong ba ki committee halor ki kam khaput kilai kendu lang baban sngap shuwa ya ki kai phot nagini ki committee ki balathong.
Today was really just a meeting to take forward the entire process of finding an amicable solution to the border differences that are there in between Assam and Meghalaya. And once we have done our homework, we will be having most probably another 2 to 3 sittings with these regional committees, and these regional committees will of course have their own sittings also. And once I think after the session is over, then there may be joint meetings and joint visits being done by those regional committees. So as I said, today was a very long meeting, but it was the crux of the meeting was basically to see the first report that was prepared by the regional committees.
So could you tell us about the finding of the reports that was submitted to you, sir?
So there was no finding as such. It's basically the report of the facts that are there. It's too much in micro detail. It goes into the different kind of communities that are settled, the number of villages that are there, the administrative convenience that is there in those villages, whether it's they're in the Meghalaya census or in Assam census, whether they're taking power from our side or from Assam side. So it's more of a detail on the facts and what the current status of those villages are. So really we went into those details, and of course our officials have made visits to these villages also, and so we got some kind of first-hand feedback also as to the mindset of these villages. But as I said, there are large numbers, so it will not be possible for me to go into details. But my point being that we are very serious about this, and that's the reason why we had this meeting today.
Hadian kiti Khubor ngin sange shipor ngin son phaibiang shapi ringkat bakini ki part ki Khubor. Pau perthai biang ke jingshalam do yong bi an ha ke jala. Dawa kasur ki Northwest ban pinshitam juriu nong panyabrio. Mi ki pai ba anong stern ban dawa play lut ki dukan. Shlei biang kathan nong po ban ling kadai marjing ki pai ba. Plo kensan ke yo bhormbong julon rutli ki dukan demar. Rakhi ke dor bashrang wine do yo maumer ba nyukusan snem jong ka wine do sports club. But ki de ki Khubor.
No, kau main tak sih? Kam biang sih. Beliau, pisau dia bah. Kadang kolong bah ngampat sim ketika ya dah COVID-19 tu. Kadang ki beliau ki semua atatian tu ban kira taksi jonga. Dia boleh pa family sim eta encek eta. Kata kan kuat tambah masuk keluar jemut. Benlek eta ko online ter bas kuih kolong bangamdan tu ko phone ko biang bandan internet. Hentip saya. Bagi sarkar kalau sedang menaik tika, kalau dan kaman berupa, bisulai bed, sedang tuang tu penyoy ka.
Siapa?
Ha, bisulai bed akan nukuno ke cakap ain jack, akan nukuno ke sini bagi ain, tingkat bagi ID jong pi, bagi penyoy ketika dana kelam COVID-19. Hentan kaman le lupa akan nukuno ke registration, yang sebenarnya ia tu ke cakap tika.
Kata ti Khubor baik kan yang tu kata saya kendo mau.
Apa beli kerja?
Nak kerja balik simno ketika ada mentah kesini. Mapipan, what I doubt you, simi ketika yada krem depan sub issue ekapor.
National Health Mission, Government of Meghalaya.
Guidance for early diagnosis and early treatment. Tested positive for COVID and have no symptoms. You have tested positive for COVID but have no noticeable symptoms. Here is what you have to do. Take the following precautions. Stay at home, wear a mask and maintain distance from other family members. Drink a lot of warm water and other fluids like soup and juices. Do steam inhalation. Do breathing exercises. Eat nutritious food. Medicines you must take. 1. Vitamin C. Dosage. Take tablet after food for 10 days. Adults, 500 mg tablet twice a day. Children 6 to 12 years of age, 500 mg tablet once a day. What to monitor? Keep an eye out for any symptoms such as fever or weakness. Consult your doctor or call 14410 if any symptoms emerge. Issued by Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Meghalaya.
Pidai sabani ka RiKhasi channel ngin ya phabiang shi Khubor ki badang sa. Kawai ke jingja ka belajar kini kisi beradab kelapin pau perthai biang ke jing peniat bian dan ke jing shalan bian yo do yong hapo ke jala Meghalaya.
Kani kalapau hadian bakawai katrok kablakit bian yo doyong kala kala khongpong no harut ka surok ba National Highway 6 hajan ka khongdong jong ka snong khat pramer hashwa ban poi haberni har police outpost Riboy district karkum ka jingte balayo lom loong bakani ka jingkala jong ka te katrok kit doyong ka badan yo number AS Not Iway KC Hindreu Iway Pra kala jah ka por khandash tengi e hakamit jong ka sngi balang balalap ru bakani katrok kala kit kumbashi phau hadu khatsanton udoyong bian Tang mariatip halor kani ke jingja ki pulit ke bernihat outpost kira lit marmar syakate ke jaka hindai da lap tang ke trok kabra kala baru te udoyong ubalahap ha kesurong hindai unongnya jakate ke trok ula phet krat no yaladi nagaliang ki pulit kila ujo da ke ijahar halor kani ke jingshalan bi an udoyong Nagaliang Confederation of Riboy People Riboy District Lingbao Finance Secretary Ushaining Kintala baru kidor maulong President ke Umsning Circle kila penram jor halor kani ke jingshalan yu doyong hapo ke jela haga ba kila penpauru ke jing suba dan keti gi he gi han lane ki minister jong ke sarkar jela
Masuk ke Khubor na ke circle arpumer ne masih kudu marmar ngilai kundu bat ba bersulfoni gi ngino ni haru ru sini sapo kat pamer bat ngilai gi ba ya gede ka truk kepala kelang ni. Batai ke bas ngolongo ini ba nakalian juga government bangi ini nak kepar baki ki empat isu ya uduyong baki nong man pelan. Hari ini lengo pat balai ki duyong kiat man kemit. Nakalian jungi ke Confederation of Riboy People ke kop ki don ka jut saukia ke ba ke bejur ba alor kani ke jing le jong ka sarkar Meghalaya jungi. Kalau saya kadang kayak lendat, kaba ngilap nong ketika korupsi, kaba ngiong ba ngimla mentipaj ba ya kadang kajingle juga lendat. Kalau saya ketika korupsi juga, belai bagi diong kilat haki ni kipor. Nemar ba nak sarkar kila isu ba ya ki diong ya dumta, ya diong cepat belai lah. Tapi belai ke sarkar Meghalaya juga, kalau saya kadang kayak ba nak keling yang police department kumadam sai. Dan saya kamera mulai berniat ya saya kadang kayak selendak mana kalian cuci korupsi kumki cegat pollution department yang sarkar bagi lap korupsi yang kini ngintip karena kisah kawai ketrok bagi pelaj kini ni makmat kini ketrok pelaj mata bakal kelar ni dalam kelar ngintip radu mata ya kini kali nak kalian juga pernah jur ya ke government police department kita pelaj gini kali nomor kita legal kemarin ber nak kalian juga kop ngi pernah jur saya ke sarkar bala nak kalian ke Indonesia nak kalian juga kop nang nes kemat ngin yelek bangin beden benuat susu mana ban pelaj ya rasa dai ki minister dai ki police department ki babam tu ki ba corruption ki ba bam bisa ki bala ban pelaj gini ya gini ki kamaran ber kali diong
Kesorkar Meghalaya kan satho si kesorkar Assam hakabede bakaan jodo masi barathau da kesorkar Assam
Principal Secretary Ketrat Animal Husbandry but Veterinary GHP Raju ulong baga kindon ke bahinyo jong kanikaan ke kedo bayi ki transit pass la ban ai de ki bor na Meghalaya hinre ka an jo kesorkar pedeng par koong baki bor ki badai na kanu ke jilla ke bakhai ki masi katuhi ke jilla kan ai ke transit pass Kani ka don ka jingbam shai la ka sarkar pedeng kala pedne em ya kani ka an jo ka sarkar Assam.
In that, Section 7 is of concern to our state, especially our cattle traders. Section 7. Section 7 makes it mandatory to carry a transit. There are two issues. One is the transit pass for any vehicle carrying cattle through Assam. That is Section 7 mandates that we will permit your trucks to transport cattle provided there is a transit pass issued by the competent authority in Meghalaya, because they say that the cattle are brought into the Meghalaya by legitimate traders to prevent smuggling. Basically, those who are basically to prevent smuggling. So they claim that is basically their contention is that to prevent the smuggling of the cattle. So any cattle, the carrier, the vehicle passing through Assam, that has to have a valid pass. As of now, There are two passes which are mandated by the government of India. One says that suppose you are bringing cattle from Bihar. So the Bihar local authority, animal husbandry authority, have to certify that cattle is fit to travel, healthy, is not having any disease, and it is vaccinated. That's the government of India regulation. The Bihar authority has to give that certificate. Plus, if your truck is used for transportation of that one. So as a carrier, you are providing the carrier, right? So you have to satisfy that. Yes, these cattle are vaccinated, these cattle are fit to travel. So there are two certificates are mandated by Government of India. Now, whether the Assam Government Act, this act, taken these two, the directions of the Government of India into account or not, we have not shown. But Section 7 as of now insists for a transit pass to be issued by the Animal Husbandry Department of Meghalaya. This is the landlocked country. We have landlocked state. So the Animal Husbandry Department now studying the act. We have studied the act and we are coming up with one solution whether to write to the Assam government that Section 7 is versus the Government of India instructions. That's number one issue. Number two is if it is required, we are coming with the notification authorizing our own local traders. Why should our local traders to be put to inconvenience? They already lost. There are many families, hundreds of people. They employed their own employees, and now cattle trade that came to a complete halt. So why should they be put to inconvenience? So our Animal Husbandry Department will surely come up with a notification by next week. And if the permit is required, temporarily we may issue the permit to our legitimate traders who are our locals. Basically, to identify those slimy, those who are having the tendency to smuggle out the cattle, bringing from outside. We want to very sure to whom to give the permit after due verification. Because the two twin objectives. One is our legitimate cattle traders should not be put to inconvenience. We shall facilitate their trade. Number two, those who are having the tendency to smuggle out of the cattle bringing from outside should be identified and stopped. So these two objectives, by next week, I'm very sure we will come up with a notification because we have studied the existing norms of the Government of India, norms given by the Government of Assam, existing our own norms. So our main purpose is to facilitate, to help our local cattle traders.
Umendri Keterangan Forest Joko Sarkar Jelau James K. Sama Kalai Po Terik Mentau Benai Ulapan Pau Kejing Skokia Halor Kejing Temu Ban Buai Ke Palm Oil Plantation Hapo Ke Jela Meghalaya. Habai Grem Bikala Pathai Khubor Uniu Menteri Ulong Bakani Kerukam Thung dan dia kata ke palm oil cultivation kan kata Shibo ni kami Mariang. Ulaban Rabru bo unsa Shimkhia ya kani ke kam Keterangan Forest bar kumjuru bo Menteri Rang Ba Ke Jelau Konrad K. Sangma.
As Minister in charge of Forest and Environment, I am also very concerned about any move to introduce palm oil cultivation in our state. And we all know how monocropping of the nature of palm oil cultivation is harmful for the environment, how it affects the delicate biodiversity of any region, and Meghalaya especially because our biodiversity is very sensitive and delicate. So we are very aware of that, and we are keeping that very much in our mind.
So the Chief Minister has welcomed it. So are you planning to take up the matter with the centre to appeal them to keep it on this idea?
Yes, I think most of the states have been very opposed to palm oil, and Honourable MP from Tura, Madam Agatha Sama, has also written to Honourable Prime Minister, and I will also take this matter up with the Forest and Environment Department, Government of India also, that Meghalaya, if there are many avenues for scope of development and for growth, palm oil with the kind of very destructive nature that it comes along with, I think that we will request the Government of India to reconsider.
Kinayalam ke HANM Riboy District Thakalai Tarik Unai Lor Arja Arpui Kilather Ting E ke Sarkar MDA Khamtam E ke Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council Halor ke Jingbam Yarab Jonki Yaki Paiba ke Basa ke Shnong Khubor Khamtam E Jong Shnong Block 2 Hakabay Day ba ke Jingpen Register Yaki Kot Kisla Jong Khandau ke Siap
Nakaliang ka HNM lang bawa pateng mersing presiden ha kajing ekran mat kinong tok Khubor hanong po walaupun pawe kajing sokya ka bajur halor ka kajing kinsting kibor ka sarkar MDA bat ka KHDC ban penregister kikot isla jong kipat ba masyong basa ha kathan umat block 2 kibadon hadu laispa tam da ka baai daw da kumne kumtai
sirkom ni ai kublai ya ka sarkar MDA ka balala banonra ya ka mit bania penbek yo put usam bat agawai pak kaliang nagle kaseng idon pat ya ka jing sokya ka banta ka border issue namar hadin ba nagle kaseng gilayo banjurip segi border area khamtam hagini ki block 2 ba ka sistem ju government banta ka jingya penbaik ngitip nagle kaseng galong ba kin check ya kita gilan dokumen Tengilayo bani keren bak kibril ki basa sate sapo umat ka bahap sapo block 2 kabangi solongo nagle kaseng galong ba lada kinwan check yang digelan dokumen inut banong ba kidegi jika sa block 2 kibun ki banhap sapo asam namar katkum ka jinglap ka jongi ba kipat ba ki basong basa ante block 2 kibun ki ba yagi kot kisla kendau jongi kilile sa asam bab kidon ru ki epic jongga asam kanai kwa mbu jingkeli sa ka sarkar ba hadin ba gilayo ya ka Khubor ba kidon gilom song te po umat ki late apply ya kene ka kot kendau ka kot jaka support district council ba ka bangi solongo nagaleng kaseng ba mentala laisnam kila apply ka kot kesla kendau banele ki kot kesla ndre nagaleng ka district council kamla bale habede bat kata ka kot kesla kendau te ngila keli nak tigi nom song slong ki basa sete bat kiong ba nagaleng ka district council kala penpai bang ek kot kesla kikot kisla ki magimut pan apply na benta ka kendau ka jongki bat kidon hadu laispa arphongot kida gibreu ki bala apply ka kot kesla ndre ka bagi susi kalong ba ka district council kamla banirap ban ple ikikot kisla ki jongki kane kade ka dauba ka ba ngila banong bagi pai ba ki basa sapo kodar area ki ya kendu jinge aba kimut bale ikikot kisla syame galea ndre nagaleng ka sarkar kamsim khya nagaleng ka district council kamsim khya
kila keduru bagi paiba kathan block 2 pun naki daga jingbo manse kila haban register yala ki jaka ki puta mat ka sarkar asam namar ka jingpen suk ki bor asam khantam eru baka asam ka jupen bi ki paiba lengba ki kampen roy lapun pauru bawat aka jing kran penbek put kila rai ban pek ki kot isla ngati kena bada ki potli kisnong khasi ibadon habok block 2 kin hap saka asam mat kane kan jata namar ka jingbo sumkhya joka sarkar jela man pen register yaki kendau ki siap jang ki paiba khasi
bali penbaik yang put usam hadin ba kilai penbaik yang put usam kin check lagi kot kisla inginut balong ba lajan borok diberi ki basa segede ke block 2 kin hap cha asam ba nagaleng kaseng isu khya ba isu tu bagi paradok par islam di jongi ki basa segi border area kinum kwa ban lek cha asam hande ki kwa bandon Meghalaya hande la daga government kan ya naga sistem bane check ya gi digelan dokumen kamamut ki babon lagi khasi berkisno khasi jongi kinham sha asam dai naga daw nagaleng ko seng HNM di district nimi shakmat ban penpau sha sarkar ba ngidone ya kaji sukya daga benta ki paradok per islam ki jongi ki basa sente sapo block 2 lamar ki yathu e ki jing e ba nagaleng ka sarkar Meghalaya ba hadu menta kamdon kan ono ka jingerap syagi de gibru ki basa sapo border area ba minut lo banong ba wasam uan hasno ban pele e ki kot kisla kamtam gilan dokumen ki epic ki andhar kunta ter henry ka basumsi pat kalong ba ka sarkar Meghalaya kamdon e ki jingerap syagi de border area adu ki development ki kot kisla kendau ki epic ba ki andhar dai na kata bagi pai ba masa sate sapo border area ki kendu ya ke jinge ba nagaleng kaseng ngikwa ban penpau ba ngin persya ya kena ka polisi ka ba laya penbaik apren ka sarkar Assam bat ka sarkar Meghalaya ka dik and give polisi namar ngisuthu lada ka sarkar kan pentrikam ya kata ka polisi ki babun ki jaka kinhap sya Assam nginongai bo Assam unai ka jaka sepo Meghalaya namar nyoi bo Assam na kapor ulan kenturput kunong ai ka jaka sepo Meghalaya bat nagale ka seng nginiang ka wai ka nomrimba ka khandam ka syap jong ko briu hanyo trap kadai bangsa po Meghalaya ban nginom kwa ba kajakan jongi kalek sapo Assam ban nginom kwa hidup bersim ya kajaka jong Assam ka jong ko Meghalaya kan sa jong ko Meghalaya bat ka jong Assam kan sa jong ka Assam kata kadai gajing kwa na kadai kaseng
Kasur ki nong west hakalai potrik unailar aja arpui kalapuloi ke jingyat padba bar ke jing thang mombati ban pinram juri ke jing sha priap I complexes im bar ka samla might lenti lingdo marshalong hake ying sa jong ki hanong stan
la ban kedau hang ni bahadir ke jing tokit ki pulen lakem yo wei ubrio ba keteng uban prang ko par nong bri ubala phlaru bole hi marwei ya te ka kam hagan ni ke jingyat padba lami lang ki samla shinrang bat kenthei ki longkme bat kumjuru ki rangba lapnong lu ya ke jingyat padba da kabara ya ki banar rong yong ringkat ki jing tho penrem bat ki jing dawa ban kem bat penchtam ting e yo ni runar khnang ba kanu monra ka jing songs ear ha ka imlang salang Hadirin ke jingyat pai ba lapun long ke jing thang mombati bat ke jingyat lang pai ba ha ka palayo jingkran na kinong ilam ka sur unong was balayo ru ya ke jingkran na ki bahiyeng jong kini ki basap nyam
ban penpau kendiat nama resedon ki bompat tip sepang ke jing im kat ke jing long jong di malenti lagi malenti don tang arang separa malenti di bakam he ban don operasi rang bakam dia ban ilasa pisat nama apa katumi ke jing kini di ayo dipun alapatno akapor ba kaya ini para yang ini kunta ilasa kunsuat wala kata lalu lakit dari kajing kadung ikan kalong hanustan isyong hantu hanustan nagabanta kajing kulay kajing ki dengan nagailang kasem idapla kajing semua kemana kata kapor berarti don kajing kerman bawatlah ilalong kunsuat marway Andrei Hagismi kebanuan hidungi Imlong Kalawai gua pernah yang tinggi kesem Bat nai ni ikudungi Usayo biang kajing songsip Kajing singan Nasa ba im saroy parum pare Akali yung kanosem kedungi Andrei haga step yung ka-arsaw tarik Lawan o batum Balaka Ito yung kesem Ditegur kejat kejeng Kumba kibar flag kreatif berkata. Kumba ingin dan su kalau kan imperkat kalau dom dijemput imperkat namar ke jindon jungunu ngam kumno ngam semua ropok semua kena kapor bang don ini su ibadan ni ka turbriu ada briu ibadan ni ka mesin sui ibaran nut ban kering jubor lebar lene ban put ke iba ni na kalian kasem minang itu lene minang perkat lene minang mudur naga banta kalawai waktu naik itu kita nak kalian ketur tapi kasem ngendong tinang selik pan ong cu tumlo rei isubu tang kena kecing perempat bagaan kan ai kecing bisa hok kenang ba kum kena kecing dia kin om jesu hadir habot hakane ka bri jung nyopret kantam hakane ka dong ka thai jung ka wes hil patro ka ni borokoi lalu sekali bila kalian kalian kesana ini, ni nak pensiun, liftir ni pensiun, kat bangun pagi, jika bisa hok, dulu paman, ugalai kena kakam, batlengba kena kapor, pada pergi pagi baru, idan ni kata keju sakta, bat keju kuat nak benta kalau wei jangkari kita pergi untuk kadang katakan berkepat dia pergi berkuat bagi ni terhilang bagi kumpulan kesem bangun rat dan kong jika bapun kita sini ibadan kena kadang pergi katakan kejongi
jauh kena ubah lalai yang kita kam berkomang kami cuba orang ai buruk dan program melakukan sia isa SP dan isolir bisa nama apa nampak julat SP hang uba keluar ban be ya kayak ke im ke bakat kan ke cintar barbarian jang punya kena ya ini kentai di jangi bilang ni jaga yang sebagai si bon di jing kiba kia kacan dah hani pun kilang ni kiba ya ban ket ro ikon iki tak nak kejunggu nang kalau bakal nang kereta kalian kesam keilang salam kunjuru ya kedong lekai ngamla abang jerlut ya kejunglong jang indrai barong iletip bayinya ilang ikong business im barong ilang ikuti isim ibadan buram ibadnya karang ibadan buram nadu keski kebaladet mereka jinglek kebakado kejong i kebapan sosis saat ada kata-kata yang bersih di jauh. Kau kesan orang kami, bat kisan orang kami dia poilang ni penram jur yang kerja jingle. Batawai ngadon ban senang di kon, lagi di kon di jauh, lagi di kon juga di pai beram kau thai nongson. Kau di kon sama, kau ingin hon ya ke di bangi don kerja jingem di jauh. Lagi don setengah, angin hon setengah apa? Lagi don cipong setengah, angin hon yang lagi jingyo. Omday ban war ha ega spa ka bomday tapi ero blai kana on wat ikwa e jong kiwai na mar long bas ni wat ke jing ikwa jong kiwai ka pen po e kini jing pat jong mo na brukat kane dengan permen kam lagi kon sama lagi jing jan bahar tongkat ni kane yang ims ni jong ban trai ban ta ala jong kalong yin kalong sem rengkat ka bela ka si bang yo konjuro bang imdai ban kwa palat omdai ni kwa sang sor selong ni siapa kata ni siapa ni cuma telur tang nak bentar kapisah kami lute. Mulai ni lepas bapa lain ni lagi selong, boleh ni sah nonton, bawa ni kain pindong tu, boleh ni sah, nombor cakap nombor cakap India baca baru, ni wan lagi jom program om mengiyakan pandute nak bawa ni cakap, buat imbah bahannya lagi, kelam don tergut na ini.
Wata betul berkoi, orang tang kejela kejungi, kita ba kejela kejungi, kedi kejela betul betul lain. Bila lah kita pembeli sekolah, pada pembesar jung mengas, nak bangga sekolah, ia kena kejungjia terus sekolah atau hang, kalau pada mutam, haga belajar, haga meni haga lega arsal terus mesti. Kejungan kejungi, kadang kadang bantu banjur ia kena kejungjia terbesar kai. Nampak kata haga lega por syuaban kan, nasuba bantu dia bawa, kita apa jang dasar mesti Kemudian kat kita yang semua yang kena kasur ke sawa lembah juga kena kapor kat nomor kat penjong hi kita don ya imai pa halagi jong hi kat nomor kat penjong hi kita don ya ilok ke jong hi hanya mazam kat nomor kita don ya lagi jong ki para halagi jong hi yang kisam lalu hitam loi ka kencan ka bathau ha ka bana buat mat ka ha ka ni kapor galang ba ha ka prothai ko ka ban ha ka universe ko ka namot bagalong kami kadang kabakham khau ni kabakham hatam ban ye kinu kita brio ban yang nuru supai ubakhau ha ka ni ka prothai abi ko ka sur jodi nawas idon hat ban penran ya kun kini kam paman ikan le Khubor ikam syam jengin nama ba abon ni neki Kristan bahagi Kristan ikan kita ki anjong mulai hati syukur hati lembab ka gospel kata golong syukur hukum dia mulai golong watlom pania
Kajing Hap play dukan deki Pali hayo nong stein but heki wede ki benta jogani ka nong ba joko West Khasi district kalapan pitar ki pajba hadu bah ka artrik unai lur aja artway kilami sindan hasurok bandawa na ki Khubor district ban shalo ki dukan ban play ban ka skin Kini ki pami surok kila penpau bagi jing hak play di number kala kata kamai kaji jongki berkawan raru ik jing ma namar baduna ki dukan ki play bar ki brio ki bon thir one pet pat ki hab banya thingyan tang ki katu ka ni teli ki dukan ki play hadin kani ki paj ba kila tur ka office jong DC ki West Khasi district ban penpau ye kani ki jing dawa jongki
play kaji chat tin ye long lan nan la chim lo en ta anya la jong tem pat kun jong la da chila dia kun jong DC la da uong ba Kumo dah kata kepor kini saya rai pembak mo, ini nak saya rai entah, dere.
Ini habuk jengkak semua, ada habuk jengkak, ada kerem kongo, saya kan jaga tak.
Wah ini iPhone nak kena. Dua ngacu orang beja, ya jitno teman mentah bani pembak ini, ketukan ningut hai nomor cipit kaya.
Benda semua kau, ini wam sumkan, ini lajang.
Ningkong ya ngan ai ka Khubor ka bakmen ya fi ila jet sangut na kinong mikma jong kini kinong sungyaw hang na ka nong stoin tingila pelong ka meeting ba DC hadin ka jeng ya krem ba DC ila shim ka to ka ni tili ki decision number 1 DC ula sha ban play ki yaw na do la shai na dingka biki kendon ka kendon ba dingkong baro kinong sungyo kide bandang kamas baro kinong sung dukan kide ban ya jungai we ni we bat ki customer ne bat ki bre bayal sung dukan lang to ka balai kide ban bo baro ki sanitizer teng ni na kaliang ka district administration bat ki pulit in sedang banwan ban le ya ka checking nadu shibet janmit haringkat ka jinga tray lang bat ki kinak snong le bat na ki nong sung snong bat ki nong sung yo nadang ilap ya kinu ki bayal persya ki bandang mas ki bam bol ki sanitizer ya ketu ka dukan yang khang no sendan bat kidero bante ya uksai khnang banchungai unong de na unong thet ding idon ka bat I we na ki rangba ki ba iba mi khmat na ka banta jong gini ki nong sangyo de na karpa je even ajeng kan
to kabaring kong nsingo ban sungo yo Malaysia hakan Khubor Juro ya idem jungi bataba yo DC kamtam ubala skor bhad dengong ha kijing ya keren jungi bad basu tu bha ya kita kijing berkhot ke bamangi ngele kendo kinisngi berkhot ha ke bamangile ya te hadin bangile keren sani bha ya penbej bha wong ba menta kasni kadai ke order ha ke bamangile check te kala ayat ke order kumto te kerpat yang ipai ba berkhot ban ya menta kasni ngine khang swa kitu badai ban khang kitu badai ban pli Menariklah syai pada ingin sapli na berkot. Dia nak katakan ni ngasungu syah hapo kajing don lang jong pi berkot ba kini Khubor juga distek kila alat yang i balak kumta tang ba tang kawai kuma penbut biang kumbaong. Idam jongi ba ki kendon ki protokol kabamangi habut ni haban but kata kalong ba kamtam abuat wan ki customer banwan lumbung kutung na misya let's say pinahab ban neong way banrung way kum kum tay na ta hatta ki kusay bantel ada de banrung hak mapi pin pej kando de ban pinyaj nanta susu kamas bat hagajuk kapor bamangi nginda kentulang ipai ba bernangis kam hakan ki por ki pai baru kat kum ke jempet jonga kila dap su thoi maki so kan rung kan la de ibadon wei ke nomorong so tenga trai ke ke putlang jongi ba khot kan biang
Hari ini Khubor dengan Sania Shashipor, tang chicken kwa hadiah dengan soal pagi yang sepi ringkat begini ki wipar ki Khubor. Shlei biang kata nongko bat ling kedai marjing ki pai ba. Blok kensan ke yo bhormbong julon drutli ki dukan demar. Rakhir ke dor bashrang wine do yo maumer ba nyukusan snem jong ke wine do sports club. Bat ki wei de ki Khubor.
Nah, kamay mtasi. Kam biang pi. Beliau. Pi so diau ba. Kadau kolong ba ngampat sim ketika ya dah COVID-19 tu. Kadau ki beliau ki semua atatian tu ban ki taksi jonga. Dia boleh pa family sim ta injek ya. Kata kan kwa tama masmu kelumar jemut. Banle ko online ter bas kuwi kolong bangam dan te ko phone ko biang bandan internet. Hentep sa. Bagi sorka kalau sedang mana etika, kalau dan kaman berupa, pisulat bed, sedang tuang tu penyoy ka. Siapa? Hai, pisulat bed akan nukuno ke cakap ain jack, akan nukuno ke sini bagi ai, lengkap bagi ID jong pi, bagi penyoy ketika ada nak kelam COVID-19. Hentan kaman le lupa akan nukuno ke registration, yang sebenarnya ia tu ke cakap etika. Kata ti Khubor baik kan yang itu kata saya kena mau apa beli kerja? Nak kerja balik simno ketika ada mentah kesini. Mapipan, what I doubt you, simi ketika yada, krem depan sab issue ekapor.
National Health Mission, Government of Meghalaya.
Guidance for early diagnosis and early treatment. Tested positive for COVID and have no symptoms. You have tested positive for COVID but have no noticeable symptoms. Here is what you have to do. Take the following precautions. Stay at home, wear a mask and maintain distance from other family members. Drink a lot of warm water and other fluids like soup and juices. Do steam inhalation. Do breathing exercises. Eat nutritious food. Medicines you must take. 1. Vitamin C. Dosage. Take tablets after food for 10 days. Adults, 500 mg tablet twice a day. Children 6 to 12 years of age, 500 mg tablet once a day. What to monitor? Keep an eye out for any symptoms such as fever or weakness. Consult your doctor or call 14410 if any symptoms emerge. Issued by Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Meghalaya.
Hey sabari ka RiKhasi channel nya phabiang shi khubor ke belangsa. Kipai ba ka than nong po khamtam e jong shnong ulmung kdai kilahaban ma biang ki jing e jing jing jar hadian bakladan ke jing shlei ka bashir kai kabra re kamba ka to ka ni kenta ba ka daw ba kabla puloi ke ni jing shlei ke dei tang namar ke jing trei torti jo ka National Highway Authority of India ha ka por bate ye ka surok folin.
Kami kelak tak kelak, lalu Khubor bung mencua kelak teng kejut dinam lor cuma di kejut kelot. Mereka Khubor bahalor sim la tunya uai, la singap atau mata sim la lei namar kani kadri karit pelan kamlong. Maka tata selap malu melah ni kelak kelot baik. Selap bom liu selap kemudian kajige kalong di longsong duka. Kaptam ru di pajba apa jinlik bantie lagi duka namar bang ila ban terus nasidian kilai ini ba ikali gila sakulot di baik gila sakulot hantam lagi ni service road angne po nongko ang tiharum apo downgrade kalau kuju stationen ru kalau kuju dia nama kata nga kapat ya kinong penia dong ka taung komiti bagi nong mat ijongi hantam IGC badan buron kopek ya kaneka district ijongi bagi tiklen ya ni gaji kaba pelong ya kasong po sang slap la plot baik.
Wala kaladon ke jing jurep jong Khubor ke NHEI lembat Khubor pinya distrik karibhoi lakat tu kat nisnam bantai penhe lani ban maromot no ya kinala kibakongsan kibadan hakani kathan nong po khamta makasnong ling kedat henry ke jing tei ya kinala kamchim lasdang hadu kini kisngi tat hadu bakipat ba kilamat biang ya kijin tunjar hakalet kawan bat ladon ru kat tu kat ni kinong song snong kiblamat ru ya kijing do nong kapakraw nakani kijing sri
Kani kadukan kebapi kadai kadukan jonga hangning ibu kicur kido bat kumta terter nam ta kajing suk jong unong song snong ka ngayang hangne ban penso saka sarkar ba bolsen kiwan ban pek lane banwan kimi ya kasnong jingi tang ka kapor barang onda ada ya kum kini kapor por slap bangi kum kinong song snong ya kendu kajing e ka sarkar nyim idur reitang ka kapor ba kadai kapor telang kiwan ban pek lane ban wan pek ya kene kasnong jingi ya kajing dapum hade hakum kene kapor nyimi kum kita gi nong pek de ngakwa ban persau sepi bangi kum kinong song snong ang ne umlak dai nya kendo sibun kicing na kapor idon kidukan jang idon kidukan sang idon kidukan khawang ne tang supoi ne kapor ni jenjar banlum malang ikitiar marka namar ba kade kicing det jong kanala ngimla banlum klok ikitiar amar kata bila bangi ba kitiar kimar ki jongi hang ne kilong di bala sape kade por slap pek kum kene kedukan hang ne pi kade kedukan jonga kadon kedukan do kadon kedukan jur kadon kedukan ranga ngimla su banlum malang iki klok namar ka jur jong slap manta kila sape lut baro bat kijur ke bagi ibu adukan kila super lut nama daileng ba kajing lek jong sarkar diwan ban kular ingi ban kin penbahan oya kene unala jong forlen rekat adu mentala laisna melanter kiker ki kular ban penbahai kene unala re adu mentang nyimpat yo
kumbala saki hakasnong ling kedat ko kalakiu syapalat saukut kam berkalabu jing ya kinong song snong banjam na siliang ka surok snong badon ru katukat ni kedukan kiba ko kalayo ban penjulor ya kimata kepala penduk nong ya kita dukan hagani ke jing sri lasaki ru bako kalayo bantap ya ke surok ba National Highway 6 hagani ke snong ning kedat kepala bu jing ya jing yang jong kali
namar man la kapor kasajja kane ke jing sri hagani ka dong ke jongi namar ba ka Forlin ka trei torti ya kini ke surok ini ki nala kamla ban biang ka kini ke sinong jongi dei na kata kadau baga nega jing slei ang ne ka dong jongi ngimla chu ban yaj ban yang namar ba ka jing slei jong man kapor hang ne po jong ke sinong lang kadai dei tang ban tau snem henrei man ka snem habalong ka dei ka porliur kasajja kumne damar ngi gibayang badon kidukan hangne idon gador barhol hangne namar ini ni dolot yegi tiar gi bangidon hangne ko gador barhol henrei khamtam yo khawrison bodon hangne namar bangila stok de bo khawrison bangi de ban ai sekipet ba ngila dolot namar ba ladap lashlei kene ko hagane ke jaka ko bangidon de gane ka daw bahagane ka snong ka jongi namar ka forlin kalawan arsin laisin banwan pek tang bon pek MLA ka DC kilawan ban pek ya kanega jaka hangne namar kim pentrai kam hadu menta namar ngi hadu mentaru kanega kadang selai barok ki bayat bayang hangne ki bakla dablut kanega surak bat kan tiyat ke jongi sesenong ru kumju teda kaliang jong na kumu pada basar jong ke senong kedai hangne ngapan pau ye pi ki pai ba ki ba pek bat bayu ya kanega pres kabala wan ban ring ya kanega jaka ka bangidon hangne tengi karpat khamtam ya ka sarkar lane ya gisi lane gi nong pek nong khmi ha kanega dong jongi lane ka blok jongi hangne bakin snobha banle kham koloi ban ya kren bar kanega forlen bakan penlai no ya kanega kabadon hangne ha ka snong jongi
Kumbasan lan Indriyo tali ki dukan di mar prepare kala ingkhong hi khai harian bakading ka bashir thai kala yoban kalam barban bam do sandani ki di dukan ringkat ki mar ki mata
Kini ke jingjia kala jia ha ke yo bhai rumbong ha ke mit jong ke siterek mendau benai ha ke por sipo buji bat na kalian ki bor pulet ka khap mara PIC haringkat pulet ding tang mar yo jingtip halor kini ke jingjia kila mare bran syakate ke jaka bat bantem no ya keding ke balak kalang ba hendai tar hadu bandio pelip ya keding baro ki mar ki mata kila ingkhong lut haringkat kita hidupan tat hadu balapemi ya kini ke khubor simna yo jingtip setia na kadau ayu kini ke jingplu ding bat hadu katno ke jingdo nong halor kate ke jingja plu ding nama kita dukan kimsim malik mi setia sathanat khap mara PIC hendai layo jingtip pat ba simna dan manu ba mensau ha kate ke jingja
berbicara. Labiang lah, sini. Ada ke TV jom kita.
Kasur MU normal ki kala ai ke jingkersha ne kasur unong molai ban pinso badawa na kasor karjala bakam dai ban shong klikti hindrei ban ai ke jubab ka ban pin hon yaki kani ka sang kalami shaprang na ka jingsko yetali bar kum ke jingsko lem na ka benda ka jingsha apnyap sendet uba char sefil thank you ha ka khalai terek mentau banai
ni pinso shi kasur molai bakanum dai pinso hemin sim ni ruki samla nasor shalong ni dan kat bat pi Injai kersan bat pi bat nginbu jendwai hidu boblei trai kendrat sandur penwandur pensmutu kta kinong yalam jongka sarkar ba jengi bakin kongo lani bakin wanra takarai kaban pensmutanat lem yengi baro
Hakalai puterek minta Taiew kani ka seng na malki kala penpau bagala shimi karai bakan aipor shi Taiew ka sarkar jala kata hadu kan riu terek unai lur ahaja arpui bakan ai ka jubab badada ka sarkar ka sngap kuman ka sur ngiu unong malki kan pelong na karali hapo ka shnong malki
kum kadak jong kajing kesan kum kadak jong kajing ngolem ya kayeng kesem jong iba syai pat kum kadak banya machaprang ngila nakaliang jungiru ngila sim kawai karai ban pinsngau syaka sarkar bahkan numdai ban chuminti kumtu katu samla ba i jungi na pok molai kila kiwen namta ka bahak kamet snong molai namta ka bahak kamet kari ba i jungi kari meglaya hendrai kapasusi pede ngi bakam dan kanu kata kajing pinsngau bah yang ini kum upat nong snong beglea kamdan kanu kadang kabai penmentoy kabapin smutanat yang ini ki pat tena kaliang jong sang malki ki bangiju wan chikmat habre bat ki jingsan jong snong kathau ngim smula mencut kelain keti kum ni ngiru ngi kesan ni kasur morong maulai bat ngi wan hang ni ban penpau ba lada ka sarkar hi ka shuminti baik kumni kam ai ka nunu ka jubab ka pensobhai ngi hapo siteu kata ndru tarik ngiru ngin sapenya jak rally hangi po snong malki
Kerja kedua lang kinongilam kiseng phalang prepare kibadan hakathai opashalong kibakinto BKF KJGP KSU HNYF but HYC hagartrik mentaka Taiew kilarai banthaur ka kinhon ya kaba antip kerteng kum kasur ngi unang opashalong melim
Hagani ke jingalang lajiat eu samla singalang soklet presiden KSU Opposition Circle berlong kumu chairman bar usamla kit boklang mauplang presiden ke FK JGP Opposition Circle kumu spokesperson.
Hagani ka jangmiat mamanta ka artrik September arjam akui kaladon ke jing kenduk lang jongki mengilam sing malang ibu piar kibadan po tanya perselom kentuk ya ka KSP KSU SYF SYC bat ki balai don ru ka tokan ingot ki nongkit kam lagi snong ki paper ki balaiwan har ni jingalang ke jingbu pongsan jong ni jingalang kolong ba na kaliang jong ki pai ba nong snong jong thajo par snong ni babo ke jingalang jong ki seng halang ki paper ki bakan thop ka FKSP ki SU SMF SYC ni penpau ke jing snow persajur bat ke jing perdamjur ya ke jing dek don bor jong ki pulit awede bat ke jing simno ke jing jong u Pak Ceres Tarfil thank you pada General Secretary Berem jong seng channel C. Ti hakni ke jingalang ngap ngilakot entasngi nak liang jungi kun kenhun seng malang boker dah hoi ke jingmun ngilai sim ngarai bangin tau ya kani ke komiti ke kerpang ya ke ngilai keteng kum kasur ngiu kinong opar selong melim. Ke jing temu jong ni ke kenhun kalong ba ngin persajur ngin perdamjur ya kani ka jing peniap kelab ke jong kibor jong kaan kibara sim jendat ya ka jingyong jong ba Ceres Tarfil thank you bat ka jong kopor kalong ba message ke bakliang kalong ba nikwa pan kentu ya sorkar pa di kibor pulet bakum kini ki jingja kimde banja so nang ni sikman namar lagi ailat beling sa isong yang kini ki jingalang kalong ba hoat kemersim jong ba Ceres kalale ngi septi yo kinambun ki kena samla lani kiri orang ba kiwi kiri pak baru kinang long lang kenya nang ni semat lari ki bor sangkaan lani ki bor pulit kilapan penerkam ya kaan kat bagi mon maki kat bagi snobet mon thombor ya jai perri jongi
Keseng National People's Party ha kashitarik unai lur mendaksnem kalaraki e kelingko sngi kha ka bahnyo kusau jong nong seng kani keseng sain perthei upurno e sama
ia kani ke jeng rakhe la pelong hapo office jang seng NPP hanang ba shalong haka bale don lang ru state president jang NPP Dr. W Khaluki menteri jang sarkar jala udiem ski sangma ka kurim jang menteri nang ba ka jala konrat ke sangma ka Dr. Metap sangma kinungelam jang NPP women's wing jang NPP national youth wing bat kiwi de ki khot haka ni ke jeng rakhe lai i la don ke jeng duai ka bakar pang kamjuru ke jeng kren na kinungelam ba fair jang ka party Habakren hakan dikasngi ka Dr. Metap Sangma ka balong ru ka General Secretary jong ka National People's Party Women's Wing kelapan kan mau ya ki por balaseng ya ka NPP haka bagadon katikan ngut ki briu ki balaseng ya ka rengkat ka jingalam jong upone e Sangma baka jeng budin jong ki khun ki jong u bagi pat ki ngalam kalang bakan ka parti kelanang he kelanang roi hadu ki diksi ke pementa ada kelapan paru bakan don kam padang ya tre susu na kamtaban pelong ya ka parti ka bakhlan.
He was a visionary and a man of principles, and one of the tallest leaders from the Northeast amongst the tribal state and region. With many achievements at hand and contributions in many fields for the upliftment of our society, yet he was still a symbol of humility and charisma. We really miss our dear leader. During his later parts of this political career, the National People's Party was born, along with a few loyal aides by his side. And I would like to mention the names whom I remember because I was not active in the party then, but I could still see them coming to our place and discussing about the formation of the party. So our dear leader W.R. Khaluki was there, Uncle Babet was there, Kong Toy was there, and of course Bajit and other leaders. So they were all there along with him, and now we have come this far. So I would like to thank each and every one of you for being part of this family, and we still have a very long way to go and many needs to be done, but still we have very much challenges ahead of us.
Dr. W Khaluki walaupun pau ke jing sokamen bagani ke parti kelanang itrei na kamta kabit kabiang jong pai ba ulo angru ba wala da kadai ke parti ke bapej nam ta kabit ke biang jong kari India na ka ta National Party nai kan peru na kam ta ka jengbet jing biang jong ka than stay lamingi ba kumjuru jong ka jenlah hi borok kawai.
What I realize is that National Party caters to national interests. They'll first look for the electorate at the national level. But we might be recognized as a national party, but the heart of our leader is with the people of Northeast. So this I learned. And there is no one to protect us. We are the only people who protect ourselves. P.A. Sangma rise from a humble origin to be a towering personality in the political field of India. So my call today, like what Madam has said, that will take a pledge. Not only that we remain loyal to NPP, but we take a pledge that we will build a party in the Northeast so that we will be recognized at the national level.
And that is why it was such a matter of great pride for each and every one of us. It was a fulfillment of a dream of late Mr. P.A. Sangma to have a party office in the national capital, and a matter of great pride for each and every one of us. And this is the way that we have all been able to, holding hands, been able to grow. We have been all taking our baby steps, and today we as a national party, we as a party which is running a government in Meghalaya, we as a party which is a partner in the government in Manipur, has MLAs across Nagaland and in Arunachal Pradesh, apart from these two other states. We have been, why are we growing in this steady manner? It's because the foundations of the party, they are so strong.
Kawaido Sports Club kedai kawai ki club ke bapau bah ke Jela Meghalaya kablawan ra bontli ki trophy na ki league repair kabakhap pau kedai ke jing job license lai wat ke Shillong Premier League kata ke Slam aja kharwei aja kharar baraja khalai kani ke club ya kabla seng ha ka arp kandai terik unai lar jong ka Slam shajar kandai spa sau kun riu minta ka Slam kala kot chaka jing dap nyopusan Slam badia kani ke jurakhi la pelong ha ka arp praterik mentau benai ha community hall jong ka dong wang do ha kani ke jurakhi lai don lang urang ba shnong uba RS Marbanyang u president ka wang do sports club uba M Marbanyang u general secretary uba farewell nong kinri ki longkme longkpa barkir khar ke seng samla shnong Habapin pau ke jingmi dan ke jing sedang jong ke club la ban pin kan mau bah ka beningkong kila don ar tadi ki club hapo ke shnong wang do ka samla wang do sports club bar ka wang do student sports club but day de ke jing pin ngau thu urang ba shnong ha ka te ke por uba no Hendro Mohan Roy nyota ban pin yatali ka wei na ka benta ka jes ngau thu jingmun la mi ka wang do sports club ka bakin thup ye baro ke jingele kai
ke kapten jong kini ki atli ki klub te kila sutu hi ban sen badan atli ki klub hasnong kalong ke ike ka ba jenjar ha ban rai yalu on sha ha wan yesin benta te dar jing start jong rong ba snong i let Narendra Mohan Roy yota te dar jing start jong i ilarai ba ilakot yaki baro atli ki klub haban pelong ya kawai klub kata ketika wai do sport club bat ilakhat ya ka general meeting ke baningkong walong afndrip trik me dai spa sau punyo te hakni ka meeting ladon kuba arsan mut ke bai simenta bat kita bilo ki founder member bat hadir nang tap de kilaya ko yang sasan mut member Abang bagi dia tu kuan sowan aku lagi ni nong kita berikong untuk klub tai sekretari ba Kisor Berlin Walang Astan sekretari ba Rastor Weldehan treasurer Baronel Elnyota dihadin juga ni kesunjuk Waindo Sport Club latip no hadin Waindo Sport Club nadu kesini kepala seng yaka lanang kira yang baru kamtam ya akan yang football kunjuru hakiwe pat jing akai kum ka hoki archery athletics bat kiwe
uba RS Marbanyang urang ba shnong ke shnong wang do habakran hakani kesngi ulapan pau ke jingkben ba ka club kalala ban kinjo shau mau mer ba nyu pusan war hapdeng ki jing tenju ki babon ula kren ai men simru baga klub kan yai tre chitam ban kiu chajrong kumbakla le hakini kisnam baladam
te hapadeng kini ki baro ki ba lapunan dul ya dorba sang dingi lengba kata ka dorba sang sawan mi kini ki sengi ko fair ham tam ya ko wang do sport club kabla bananam wang do sport club kabla bananam leng kali dia kayeng ka banga shongkha kadai kayeng ki jongi baslo nong ilakai pauna resource benang bangam simla bani iya bopor jilakai ni nak kena ni padiok bani sang bani ada jenis tai isi hitam rumah lain di por bagi ilakai ka bani lah kam duna ka kom ilakai ni andai ngadong badan bokpat bani i lagi samla ni ba pol porto ba full moon porto ba mike walang bak kiwe kiba kani ka juk ka pemerintah tinggi dan hang ni bak megastar ibalalong ru coach jongka royal windo ni sutanat ba ka dor basang ni kal permi sibon kinang ilakai idan ba lumur ibade si para ba shulun men ide markan rona nang takidan sakiwai pat ki bangamla banjer petengrut ngai ben pa ka jing so hadu kata lembat jongki ka windo sport club kala pa pele kham tame peleng ka football hadi por bisa ka hoki bar ka badminton kini ki player football kini bile badminton ki bile hoki
ki lumpung ele kai la ni ki cup ki baka windo sports club kala job ki kinthub ika Ganesh Das Memorial Shield jong ka snem cha jar kandai spa sanpura ka Khasi Union Running Shield jong ka snem cha jar kandai spa nyopho ka Bordeloy Trophy nang ta ka club kala yoru ban ra ika nam ladu ya ka commercial cup jong ka snem cha jar kandai spa sanpulai bat cha jar kandai spa anrupho kala job ru ika first division football jong ka snem cha jar kandai spa kandai pusan bar ka snem 8000 kandai ya ka bla pnya da ka Long Sports Association. Kawaindo Sports Club Klawanra Jingjob Ru Yaka Shinong Haka I League Second Division Jong Snem Arja Khatsao. Badling Bagane ke Jingjob Kala Yoban Rung Haka I League Jong Snem Arja Khatsao but Arja Khatsan but Kala Yoban Bad Yaka Kerdan Kabalai. Dari Khubor la poi shika kuja ka Khubor menta ka Taiew ngitol phaibe shopi haka te ko bipat ka Taiew ka banwan. Kublish boni phibaro pathiaso.